Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope you guys had a great Easter with your families. So, starting today, we're going to take a look at some heroes of the Bible over the next few weeks. And today I actually chose Queen Esther. She's one of my favorite Bible characters, and I love reading her story. You can find the book of Esther in between the books of Nehemiah and Job in the Old Testament. It's a pretty short story, and you can read it together with your families if you want to. I've also got a YouTube video for you guys to look at because they just did a really cool job at telling the story of Esther, and I think it was just really creative and fun. So you'll have to take a look at that too. Right now, I just have a quick poem for you guys to read because I feel like it sums up the story of Esther pretty good, and then we can talk about that just a little bit, okay? So here's a poem about Esther. Esther, a brave young Jewish girl, was crowned as Persia's queen. But she couldn't have imagined what this new role would mean. When the king's cruel helper Haman planned to destroy the Jews, Esther knew she must do something, but what could one girl do? She told her cousin Mordecai, pray, and pray some more. Then young Queen Esther understood what she was chosen for. Although it was against the rules, Esther approached the king. Because of her, the Jews were saved. God had planned everything. See, I love it because Esther was put in a position that she probably did not expect. She probably never would have thought that she would have become queen. But the king was looking for a new one, and they gathered all of the young ladies to kind of do a sort of pageant so he could choose a new one. And it says in the Bible that Esther had found favor in his eyes and the court's eyes, and she was chosen as queen. Now, I'm sure that she was shocked when that happened, but oftentimes we can be put in events that we would not expect, and then we look and see that God was taking care of us through it and putting us in a position very specifically for such a time as this. That's a very important part of her story, was such a time as this. Because the cruel helper Haman planned to destroy the Jews. And he did. He did not like Mordecai. He did not like the Jews, and so he had a plan in place to get rid of all of them. Now remember, the Jews were God's chosen people, and they needed to be protected too. And so when Esther found out about it, she was very uncertain, and she was kind of scared, like, what do? I can't even go to the king, because if I go to him without him summoning me, I could be in a lot of trouble. I could even be killed. And Mordecai says, you may have been put here for such a time as this. Sometimes we are put in places that we did not expect, but God can use us for great things. And so she asks him and the Jewish people to pray, and they do, and she gets brave enough and has courage, and she goes and talks to the king. So here's this picture. She goes, talks to the king, and I'm assuming that guy back there is Haman. See him right there? And she's brave enough to do that, and so she talks to the king about it. She invites him to dinner and Haman to dinner, and for 3 nights she does this, and on the final night she tells him what happens, and that Haman was plotting to kill the Jews. And so he was able to put an order through that saved the Jewish people. In honor of all of this, the Jewish people actually started a new feast called Purim, and that goes with some of the other Jewish festivals and feasts that they have too, and it is in honor of them being saved, and then they retell the story of Esther as well. So it's pretty cool. I really like Queen Esther. She was put in a position that I'm sure that she did not feel like she was capable of doing or thought that she was able to even do, and yet God was with her. He put people in place like Mordecai to encourage her and help her, and he by encouraging her, she trusted in him and trusted that no matter what happens, that God would take care of it. And because of that, because she trusted in God, she saved her people. Now, we may not find ourselves in the exact same position as Esther, but there's plenty of things in our lives that can happen that cause us to think, why have I been put here, or why is this happening right now? And we need to think of the same things like Esther did, and be encouraged by the people around us that maybe we've been put here for a reason and a purpose, because God can do great things for us. So that's all I have for you guys today. go ahead and take a look at that video that I showed you. I hope you enjoy it. It was a lot of fun to watch. And I've got some other activities for you guys to do. But I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll take a look at another hero of the Bible next week. Talk to you guys later. Bye.